Nephilim in America. Are giants in our ancestry? America has always been a landscape steeped in mystery and myth, where stories of colossal beings from the distant past continue to capture the imagination. From the rich oral traditions of Native American tribes to the whispered tales of early settlers, the idea that giants once roamed the North American continent remains compelling. For some, these giants were not mere legends. They were the Nephilim, a race of extraordinary beings mentioned in ancient texts, born from the union of the sons of God and the daughters of men. What if the bloodline of the Nephilim crossed the ocean and took root on American soil? What if giants played a significant role in the earliest American civilizations, leaving behind traces that have been dismissed or overlooked by mainstream historians? Could the existence of giants alter our understanding of American ancestry, reshaping the way we see our past? This exploration navigates through the controversial terrain of this theory, weighing the archaeological evidence, the legends of native tribes, and historical reports against the skeptical, rational lens of modern science. By the end, you'll face the question for yourself: did giants truly exist in ancient America? And could they be part of our ancestral legacy? If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content on history, mystery, and myth, and let us know your thoughts. Do you believe in the giants of America? Leave a comment below and join the discussion. 1. Evidence of giants in American history. The concept of giants dwelling upon the American continent has long fascinated the human imagination. This notion, straddling the boundaries between myth and potential reality, has, for over a century, sparked debates among historians, archaeologists, and the curious minds of the public. From the early 1800s to the mid-1900s, newspapers and popular accounts were replete with stories of the discovery of massive human skeletons, some purportedly stretching up to 10 feet tall, buried in the heart of America. These discoveries were not isolated anomalies, but arose from diverse regions, ranging from the lush, wooded Midwest to the arid, expansive plains of the western states. Every new report, whether stemming from a farmer's inadvertent find or the enthusiastic digs of amateur explorers, seemed to deepen the enigma. What lent weight to these tales was the seeming consistency with which they emerged, even in the face of skeptical voices dismissing the findings as hoaxes or exaggerations. The reports persisted. For believers, this suggested something profound: the existence of an ancient race of giants whose bones lay hidden beneath American soil, waiting to be revealed. With each successive discovery, the intrigue only grew, prompting questions about what the American landscape might have once held and why this evidence remained such a source of contention. One of the most striking elements of these accounts is the first-hand encounters with giant remains. As settlers moved westward into territories like the Ohio River Valley, they often stumbled upon ancient burial mounds containing abnormally large skeletons, some with physical traits that seemed almost monstrous, such as double rows of teeth or jawbones of massive proportions. Such tales took on a life of their own, passed down through local communities, adding a kind of folklore credence to the existence of giants. By the 19th century, there were even official investigations that aimed to shed light on this phenomenon. Notably, the Smithsonian Institution, the revered bastion of American science, was said to have obtained several giant skeletons from different parts of the country. Yet, as the stories go, many of these specimens seem to disappear from public view. giving rise to speculation about a deliberate suppression of inconvenient evidence. While some scholars claimed these were misinterpretations of animal remains or exaggerated accounts, others argued that the discoveries hinted at an unacknowledged truth, a race of giants that predated the historical record. Some enthusiasts even proposed that these were the remains of the Nephilim, a legendary race described in ancient texts, who had, according to such interpretations, found their way to the New World. The intrigue surrounding giants does not rest solely on archaeological findings. It is also woven into the rich oral traditions of Native American tribes. Long before European settlers charted the continent, native peoples spoke of giants as if they were a factual part of their shared history, shaping the land and their ancestors' lives. The Paiute tribe of Nevada, for instance, recounted tales of the cited, a race of enormous red-haired beings who were said to inhabit vast cave systems and warred with neighboring tribes. These beings, reputed to be over 10 feet tall, left behind artifacts and skeletal fragments that spoke of a powerful yet lost civilization. In the Mississippi region, the Choctaw tribe spoke of the Nahulo, fearsome giants reputed to be cannibalistic invaders, a race starkly at odds with local tribes. The Comanche, too, had legends of white-skinned giants who wielded mysterious technology, far surpassing what was known at the time. These stories were not isolated but part of a broader fabric of indigenous lore, each hinting at a memory of larger-than-life beings who once inhabited the land. The arrival of European colonizers did not diminish these stories, but rather brought them into a new context. In 1792, Spanish explorers in what is now California claimed to have unearthed giant skeletal remains, seemingly confirming the legends told by the native tribes. Decades later, President Abraham Lincoln, during a speech at Niagara Falls, made a curious remark about giant bones resting in the ancient burial sites of America, suggesting that such notions were far from fringe at the time. These references from figures of authority underscored the prevailing belief that giants were not merely legends, but an element of America's deep, untold prehistory. Thus, the mystery of American giants remains a subject of enduring fascination and debate. Were they a real flesh and blood race that walked the continent long ago, an ancient lineage perhaps tied to the Nephilim or another lost civilization? Or were they the products of misinterpretation, folklore, and human imagination's ability to craft compelling narratives from scant evidence? The scattered bones, the tales of disappeared evidence, and the resonant legends across cultures remain a puzzle for those who study these phenomena. Today, as in centuries past, the same questions linger. How much of the giant lore is mere myth, and how much might be a hidden history concealed beneath the layers of American soil? 2. On the possible influence of the Nephilim in human history. The term Nephilim is steeped in a sense of wonder and unease, tracing back to the deep, shadowed corridors of ancient history. Emerging from the Hebrew Bible, the word is often rendered as fallen ones or giants, referring to a mysterious race. Descendants of divine beings, possibly angels or the sons of God, who intermingled with human women. The concept is clouded in ambiguity, yet the Nephilim are consistently portrayed as figures of immense stature and power, existing in a time when grand civilizations rose and vanished amid a backdrop of myth and mystery. Some traditions suggest that these beings played a pivotal role in the world before the Great Flood, an era characterized by monumental achievements, enigmatic knowledge, and cultures that have since faded from memory. If the bloodline of the Nephilim survived, the cataclysmic Great Flood, an event that appears not only in the Bible, but in mythologies across cultures worldwide, it is tempting to consider that they continued to influence human history. This speculation raises profound questions. Could a remnant of this ancient race have crossed from the old world to the new, bearing knowledge and influence that shaped early civilizations in ways we have yet to fully understand? Did they leave behind traces of their presence in North America, in the form of unexplained structures, artifacts, and cultural shifts that early explorers stumbled upon? Advocates of this theory assert that if a race of giants did exist, their impact would have been monumental. These towering beings could have dominated early hunter-gatherer societies with ease, positioning themselves as rulers, spiritual leaders, or even oppressive tyrants. Their superior strength, knowledge, and technological prowess might have allowed them to shape nascent communities and leave behind enduring legacies in the landscape itself. One of the most intriguing pieces of evidence in favor of a lost race of giants in North America lies in the ancient mound complexes of the Mississippi River Valley. The Cahokia Mounds, along with other impressive earthworks found throughout the Midwest and Southeast, suggest a level of organization and architectural sophistication that is still not fully understood. While mainstream historians attribute these feats to the Native American tribes, some theorists argue that the scale, alignment, and complexity of these constructions hint at the guidance or influence of a more advanced culture, possibly giants. If the Nephilim or their descendants held sway over these lands, the remarkable scale of these mounds might not merely be a testament to human ingenuity, but evidence of a deeper, concealed force that shaped early American history. Reports of giant skeletons unearthed from these mounds, alongside peculiar tools and artifacts beyond the expected sophistication, suggest that there may be more to the story than meets the eye. If giants were present, their influence would not have been limited to physical dominance. Some researchers believe these beings had access to profound knowledge, particularly in the fields of astronomy and agriculture, far surpassing the understanding of local populations. This advanced knowledge appears to be reflected in enigmatic sites scattered across North America, where ancient constructions show a perplexing alignment with celestial patterns that challenge modern expertise. A prime example of this is the Great Serpent Mound in Ohio, a vast, sinuous earthwork shaped like a coiled serpent. Scholars have long studied the site due to its exact alignment with astronomical events, including solstices, equinoxes, and lunar cycles. The precision of these alignments implies a sophisticated grasp of the heavens, knowledge that some believe could have been imparted by a superior ancient race, perhaps the Nephilim, who had mastered the secrets of the stars. The Nephilim's supposed influence might not have been confined to astronomy alone. There are stories of advanced agricultural practices that seem out of place for their time and context. Practices involving crop rotation, soil management, and irrigation that were not commonly understood in Europe until centuries later. These innovations might have allowed early North American societies to thrive in unexpected ways, much like the Old World civilizations that flourished under the guidance of semi-divine leaders and culture heroes. This parallel suggests a common pattern of development: larger, more stable communities arising around figures who were both legendary and, perhaps, very real. Legends of giants extend beyond construction and agriculture into the realm of hidden artifacts and strange imprints near archaeological sites. In certain regions, massive stone tools have been found, tools far too large for an average human to wield. Additionally, there are accounts of subterranean tunnel systems and cavern networks that appear to have been carved by beings of immense size, hinting at a network of underground passageways that giants might have used to traverse the continent. These tunnels, if they exist, may hold secrets that could shed light on the obscure history of America's giants. There are also stories of enormous footprints found near ancient settlements, some pressed into solid rock, suggesting the presence of beings whose scale defies conventional understanding. Mainstream archaeology often dismisses these clues as natural formations or elaborate hoaxes, yet they persist, fueling speculation among those who look beyond the conventional narrative. The possibility of giants influencing early North American civilizations is a subject of both fascination and controversy. For some, it represents a way to connect the dots between unexplained artifacts, archaeological mysteries, and the rich tapestry of local legends. For others, it is a narrative shaped by the human propensity to romanticize the unknown, creating myths that reflect our deepest anxieties and hopes. Yet whether grounded in reality or spun from the threads of human imagination, the allure of the Nephilim remains strong. It is a tantalizing thread that might link us to a world half hidden in the shadows, a world whose influence continues to reverberate in the ruins and relics scattered across the American landscape. As we seek to understand early civilizations, we might be merely scratching the surface of a history that lies just beyond our grasp, a history where giants, real or imagined, once walked among us. 3. The legacy of giants in modern America. The concept of giants in American history has not vanished. Instead, it has evolved, shifting form and finding new relevance in today's cultural and intellectual landscape. Giants, as symbols of a hidden or forgotten past, endure as integral elements of modern folklore, speculative history, and spiritual exploration. While tales of giant beings may have receded from the sphere of mainstream education and academic discourse, they have found a renewed home in literature, film, television, and the ever-expanding world of online discussion. For many, giants signify more than a historical curiosity. They challenge accepted narratives, suggesting that the story of humanity is far more complex and mysterious than we commonly assume. In recent decades, theories about giants have merged with broader ideas of conspiracy, suggesting that powerful institutions are deliberately hiding the true history of human origins. In these speculative circles, giants are not merely relics of an ancient age, but are seen as evidence of an inconvenient truth that has been systematically erased from historical records. This belief extends beyond the giants themselves to a broader anxiety, the suspicion that human history is richer, stranger, and more elusive than modern science acknowledges. Giants have become fixtures in contemporary American culture, central to the narratives of fiction and the debates of alternative history. Films and television routinely draw on themes of lost races, hidden dangers, or ancient deities, maintaining a fascination that shows no signs of waning. This intrigue isn't confined to fiction. Dedicated communities continue to investigate the enigma of giants, seeking evidence overlooked or dismissed by mainstream academia. Cryptozoologists, researchers who explore the realm of unknown or mythical creatures, remain captivated by the notion of giants in America's past. Many still delve into caves, ancient burial mounds, and the forgotten archives of museums, hunting for tangible proof. Bones, artifacts, or signs. That validates stories passed down through generations. Internet forums and alternative media are alive with debates, theories, and shared evidence of giant skeletons, often illustrated with faded newspaper articles or indistinct photographs. These communities are united by a sense of dissatisfaction with mainstream history, feeling that it fails to account for the full scope of the past, and that the legacy of giants may hold an essential piece of this puzzle. Some of the most persistent narratives revolve around the belief that the Smithsonian Institution, alongside other academic establishments, has hidden or suppressed evidence of giants. According to these accounts, such institutions serve as guardians of forbidden knowledge, truths that, if unveiled, could radically alter our perception of history and human origins. These ideas are central to books like Giants on Record by Jim Vieira and Hugh Newman, which compiles an array of newspaper clippings, photographs, and personal testimonies regarding giant discoveries. The book posits that a cover-up has been in place, suggesting that giants not only existed, but played a significant role in the prehistory of North America. These accounts often claim that giants were annihilated by catastrophic events or absorbed into smaller human populations, leaving behind only faint traces of their existence. The fragmented nature of the evidence, often anecdotal, ambiguous, or conveniently untraceable, fuels the conviction of believers that an effort is underway to preserve the current historical paradigm. Mainstream scientists and historians, however, largely dismiss the idea of a giant race dominating North America. Skeptics argue that many of the giant skeletons reported in the 19th and early 20th centuries can be attributed to natural human-size variations, including medical conditions like gigantism, where abnormal hormone levels cause excessive growth. They also note that some dramatic finds may have been the result of misidentified animal bones or the exaggerations of explorers eager for fame and recognition. Many supposed giant remains have disappeared over time, lost, damaged, or revealed as hoaxes, leaving little physical evidence to scrutinize. This lack of concrete, verifiable proof makes it difficult for the scientific community to seriously consider the claims. For most archaeologists and historians, the evidence remains too inconsistent, anecdotal, and unverifiable to justify altering the established narrative. Yet, the persistence of these stories and their appeal within alternative circles suggests that the debate remains unresolved for some. Yet, a question lingers. Why do legends of giants recur so frequently across cultures and continents, spanning thousands of years? The consistency of giant myths, ranging from the Bible's Nephilim to Native American tales, Norse myths, and Celtic sagas, hints at a deeper significance. Are giants a universal archetype, embedded in the human psyche as symbols of power, mystery, and the fear of the unknown? Or do they reflect a lost historical truth, obscured by time and circumstance, leaving only the echoes of a great narrative that once was? Even if giants are no more than myth, their persistent presence in American culture speaks to a deep human yearning for a connection to something grand and magnificent. Giants are not merely symbols of physical enormity and strength. They represent a bridge to a more enigmatic and heroic past, a time when humans, or beings like them, interacted with forces that felt larger than life. For some, these stories offer comfort, suggesting that humanity's origins are more intricate and storied than what the conventional view allows. In contemporary America, this fascination taps into a profound desire for wonder and a growing skepticism of established authority. As technology advances and access to information expands, there is an increasing belief that official narratives may not be telling the entire story. Legends of giants push against the boundaries of accepted knowledge, inviting us to question, to investigate, and to imagine a world more complex and wondrous than it first appears. In this sense, giants are not relics of a bygone age. They are enduring symbols of humanity's pursuit of wisdom, a reminder that history is not a closed book, but a text full of unexplored margins and unfinished chapters. The legacy of giants, then, is ultimately a narrative about human curiosity and our need to probe the unknown. Whether giants were flesh and blood beings who once walked the earth or symbolic figures etched into our collective consciousness, their enduring presence in American history and culture speaks to our desire to believe in a world that is bigger, stranger, and more extraordinary than our present reality might suggest. Tales of giants invite us to keep our minds open, to seek beyond the ordinary, and to consider the possibility that our ancestors held knowledge about the world and about themselves that we have yet to rediscover.